Hi friends, it's great to be back in the kitchen with you. Today we're going to make a delicious vegan pumpkin bread from Well Plated, and it's oil-free and it's sweetened with maple syrup. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is make either a flax egg or an energy egg replacer egg, which is what I'm choosing to use today, and I've used this in several other of my videos. We're going to make 2 eggs basically, which is 3 teaspoons of the energy, which you find usually at a health food store or online, and it's on the shelf with the Asian foods. And I do 4 tablespoons of water, and then you want to whisk it really well. And it's mainly potato starch and a few other leavening ingredients. And so if someone is sensitive to flax, which a lot of people are, and sometimes they just don't know it, have a seed allergy, this is a great substitute. To be honest with you, it might even work without it because it does have baking soda and baking powder in the recipe, but this is my first time to make it, so I'm just gonna try to stick to it here, what it calls for. It's hard because there's little chunks, but I'm gonna do my best here. All right, now we're gonna go on to the other wet ingredients. So again, it uses maple syrup, and I always love to show, Kirkland is a Costco brand, and this is organic maple syrup that's a little more affordable. And we have 2/3 cup maple syrup, and again, no refined sugar. And then we're gonna use applesauce instead of oil. And I just like to find applesauce that has just one ingredient. Apples. This is Sprouts. Trader Joe's also has a great one. And we're going to do that. And then we're going to whisk. I'm going to borrow my whisk back. And we are going to whisk these 2 ingredients. So I hope you love all things pumpkin the way I do. I also have Forks Over Knives recipe on my channel for pumpkin squares and the most amazing pumpkin pie, and we'll put links to those videos also. Oh, whoops, excuse me. Then we're gonna add our organic pumpkin, and this is Sprouts. Trader Joe's also has amazing organic pumpkin, and to be honest with you, they sell out pretty fast sometimes, or at least, you know, by the week, you'll go in and the pumpkin will all be gone at Trader Joe's and you have to come back on the day they get it in. So if you have the opportunity, grab a few for the holiday. Okay. And then we do 1/4 cup plant milk. Make sure it's unsweetened. This is cashew milk. I just threw 4 cashews in a blender with 1/2 cup of milk. And that is what we're getting here. Okay. And then we're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla. Now, this is my first time. I'm excited to try this Simply Organic vanilla. I've always just used regular vanilla that had alcohol in it. And then I was following the medical medium that said a lot of the alcohol might be from corn. So if you're corn sensitive, so I've been trying this out lately, this non-alcoholic vanilla, which I know sounds ridiculous maybe, like a lot of effort, but if you are corn sensitive, it's worth a try, or alcohol sensitive. So this one was a little more expensive. All right. Okay. And again, this is a first world problem. Alcohol or alcohol-free vanilla. All right. So we're gonna stir these ingredients together. And I highly recommend the Well Plated website. I will link to it for other delicious vegan recipes. And now we're going to add that energy egg replacer egg into our wet ingredients also, because I almost forgot about it. Or you can do the flax egg. And for the flax egg, she says 2 tablespoons ground flax and 5 tablespoons water. So they're just little different ratios. All right. Then we are gonna go do our dry ingredients. There's a few little pieces, but I'm okay with it. Okay, now we're gonna go to the dry. Now this recipe actually calls for wheat flour, but I am using oat flour. So I just take organic whole oats, put them in the Vitamix and make this flour. So it's gluten-free. Oat flour has a little more binding powers than just any old gluten-free flour, but anyone should still work, I would think. I traditionally use Bob's Red Mill gluten-free flour that I show a lot, and I do love it. I'm just using oat flour today to see how that goes. And you could do a combo of both, or if you're not gluten-free, you can just use good old wheat pastry flour. See if I have enough here. Okay. I've been doing this a lot, buying organic oats and just blending them. And I have the oven preheating at 325. Okay, there we go. All right, now let me grab my teaspoon here. And again, this has both baking soda and baking powder. So I wanted to show this baking powder by Geffen. I ordered it on Amazon and it is corn-free because like 99% of the baking powders I've looked at all have corn in it. So if you're interested in being corn-free, and if not, anyone will do, I'm sure. Okay, teaspoon of powder and a teaspoon of baking soda. All right, now it does call for pumpkin pie spice, a teaspoon and a teaspoon and a half. Some people are sensitive, allspice can sometimes make people sneeze and stuff. I'm just gonna improvise here and make a little of my own. And then she asked to even do an extra teaspoon of cinnamon, and I'll of course put a link to the recipe. I'm gonna improvise here. I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of cinnamon because I love cinnamon. And a half a teaspoon of ginger, powdered, this is powdered organic ginger. And then nutmeg is something you could do also. Nutmeg, a pinch of cloves. If you didn't have pumpkin pie spice, I think I'm just gonna stick with what I've done, just to be safe. And then for salt, we have a half a teaspoon of salt. And of course, if you're salt-free. All right. And we are gonna stir those ingredients together. So that's it, which is still a lot. It seems like all breads tend to take up a lot of ingredients. You know what, that's wet. So let's try to find something else here. Okay, so we'll stir these together. Smells amazing. Again, pumpkin pie spice is awesome if you're fine with everything in it. Combination of cinnamon, ginger, clove, and nutmeg. But I'm just using cinnamon and ginger. Okay, I'm gonna bring my wet ingredients over and we are going to merge the two. So, you know, not everybody loves pumpkin pie. I know I didn't as a kid, probably because I didn't think it was sweet enough like cherry pie, because I loved sugar as a child. But things like this, excuse me, can help substitute or in addition, you know, and again, things like pumpkin pie squares, pumpkin bread, and now she offers up that you can put different toppings on top of it. So I wanted to show these. These chocolate chips is what she recommends. Well, and these are Enjoy Life is a vegan brand that you could put on top, or you could do pumpkin seeds. I'm gonna do chopped pecans. You can do walnuts or pecans. I love pecans. So then that will give it a little bit more flavor and texture and appeal, looking at it too. If you want to make it more of a dessert, or it can just be a snack or even a breakfast bread. Okay. It's always great when you have the opportunity to share vegan food with others. That is one of the best ways to help people transition to a plant-based vegan diet, especially a healthy one, is to just share some delicious food. They don't even have to know it's vegan. You can tell them later when they're oohing and awing over your food and baked goods. Okay, I think this is pretty good. Smells amazing. All right. Gonna dish it up. I've got the oven turned on at 325. This does take a while to bake. So we're gonna do it 20 minutes uncovered. And then at the 20-minute mark, I'm gonna take it out and cover it. It says loosely with foil, and put it back in the oven for 50 to 60 minutes. So it can be 70 to 80 minutes total. And you definitely wanna test it with a toothpick before taking it out completely. All right. And then I'm gonna grab my chopped pecans. Just wanna... Okay. Here we go. I'll give that a little smear. All right. And you can do pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds, walnuts, pecans, chocolate chips. Whatever you like. Or nothing, if you don't do nuts and seeds. All right. All right. I'm gonna bake it in 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna put foil on it, rebake for another 50 to 60 minutes, and I'll see you then. Hi, and we're back. So at minute 20, I put this little aluminum foil hood on it and let it bake 50 to 60 more minutes. And it looks amazing. It smells delicious. And now it has to sit for an hour before we can devour it. So that is it. Vegan pumpkin bread by Well Plated. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, thank you for saving animals with your food choices. Go vegan.